This is the story of Darren Forde, a native of Hollymount in County Mayo. Darren is an engineer with Mayo County Council and in his spare time works as a volunteer with the local First Responders Group and Mayo Civil Defence. Through his voluntary work, Darren came up with the idea of inventing and designing a solar power eco-cabinet life-saving equipment. Since its launch, the EPC has been rolled out across the country and indeed as far away as Australia. Today we're in Sligo City along the Garavogue River at the Sligo Rowing Club, where the first EPC life-saving equipment has been installed along Ireland's waterways. This programme is brought to you in association with Atlantic Technical Services, which offers operational, maintenance and engineering support. For more information, visit their website atlantic.com.
We're called Sligo Kayak Club and we're based here in Durley Park in Sligo on the beautiful Garavogue River. We have about 70 members at the present time, all genders, and we cater for ages from 12 and up to whatever, basically.
And how often do you go out on the river?
Well, as often as conditions allow. The summer is obviously more conducive, so you can get the younger members out a lot easier and the water temperatures are better. But we try and get out once or twice a week if possible, and we do rivers, lakes and sea kayaking.
This new equipment we're all here for today that's on the waterways, life-saving equipment, how important is that here for the Garavogue River?
It's obviously very important. If somebody was in distress and somebody wanted to come to their assistance, having this equipment and the confidence it gives you to conduct a rescue will be invaluable in the time it takes to save somebody's life.
Atlantic is a new enough company. We're 2.5 years old. We're an engineering services company focusing on delivering commissioning, operation and maintenance and contract staffing solutions to primarily multinational organisations both here and in the USA, and with a view to moving into the European market over the next 12 months.
You've also great interest in the waterways as well, haven't you?
Well, personally I do. I'm heavily involved in rowing, Northern Sligo Rowing Club here, and I suppose as an organisation we have a very strong philosophy on safety, so this ties in really strongly with our culture, with our values and with our overall focus on people being safe. And so we're delighted to be sponsoring down here. As I said, I know the guys in Sligo Rowing Club very, very well, and us to be part of a safety initiative like this where lives are being saved is really a strong and true fundamental of our own philosophies within the organisation. The number of drownings in Ireland last year at 118 really makes these things very, very valuable and very, very worthwhile.
I'm sure you'd like to see one of them up in Carrick-on-Shannon when you're on the waterways there.
I was just saying that next stop is Carrick-on-Shannon for one of these, and along all our waterways, not just Carrick-on-Shannon, but there's so many people now using the waterways. To have a safety initiative like this available is really, really important, and I think will save lives for sure.
Well, here is a demonstration of how important it is to have life-saving equipment stationed along Ireland's waterways.
This is a vital piece of life-saving equipment. We've been involved with Darren from the start in coordination and cooperation with Sligo County Council, because we had to pick a proper location that was suitable. And as you can see, we're on the lake here and the river is right beside us as well. We're surrounded by water in Sligo and we're very, very lucky, but at the same time, like pieces of life-saving equipment like the eco-powered cabinets and the AEDs, they're vital for any community. And even if they're not beside the water, it's just the fact that they're solar powered, and I think Darren is so forward thinking as well, and he's so energetic and he's thinking about other people all the time. He doesn't wait for initiatives, he just gets on with it himself, so it's absolutely fantastic. I'm really proud and honoured to be associated with this. As a kayaker myself, I do feel particularly secure that I know that these are very close and to when we are on the water, and people who, so many people of different ages, young and old, are out on the water. We meet them all the time, and it is great to know, I suppose, if it is there's an emergency, I'm able to tell them where the equipment is, and we know that if anything happens to any of us, that it is available. So I just have to say well done to Darren, to all his team, to Sligo County Council, to Nola Gibbons, to the Rowing Club. It is really a huge team effort, and I suppose without the team effort and the voluntary part of it as well that goes with these initiatives would never happen, or they would take a lot longer. So just to pay credit to everybody who is involved with this.
It's a great honour for me as Mayor to launch the new emergency eco-friendly cabinets, and also to acknowledge the hard work of Darren Forde and his team, which is exceptional. Darren really is an incredible man who first, I think, thought about these facilities when he was climbing Croagh Patrick and the lack of defibrillators on Croagh Patrick, and he set himself about to do that. So we do owe a great debt of gratitude to Darren and his team, and to donate it here for the people of this region here in Sligo, because I suppose there's so many people that have drowned. It really is so shocking, the statistics around the world, but also here in Ireland. 118 people have drowned in the last year, and that's a shocking statistic, and one has to acknowledge Darren and his team, the HSE, who are now have come on board.
And it's a first for Sligo and indeed for Ireland, isn't it, having this life-saving equipment here in the county?
Yes, Henry, well, we do have a very vibrant and a very successful rowing community here in Sligo, and it is most welcome. And it is a first here in Ireland, and I know that these facilities are across the world, and I did hear this morning that they are in places as remote as Australia. So they are badly needed, and it is a very welcome initiative, and this is something that I would like to see in every town and county and village in Ireland, first and foremost. So again, we do wish Darren Forde and his team the very best of good luck and fortune as he continues with all these great initiatives.
I'm here this morning representing Maynooth University, where I'm a student there studying design innovation, and we are currently doing a group project on Darren Forde and eco-powered cabinets, and looking at his innovation design strategy and putting together a portfolio for him.
And why did you select that particular project?
Well, we did various research into different companies and different projects, but we had great admiration for Darren and his innovation, and I suppose the life-saving element to his products is phenomenal, and what he has done in the last 18 months has been just amazing. So it was a no-brainer for us really when it comes to innovation and studying innovation, to look at Darren's and eco-powered cabinets and what he has been doing, and just, I suppose, research into it and divulge into it a bit more to put together a design strategy and innovation strategy for him.
And what will happen to this research and project when you're finished?
Well, basically, we have been working on it now for a few months, and in December we will be presenting it to Darren, and it should be a breakdown of an innovation strategy that he can use basically as a toolkit in his company to help develop the company, help with growth, help with new products, and basically help the innovation side of his business. There's a huge emphasis in all industries now at the minute to develop the innovation side of the business and the projects and the products. So I think it's really important, and for Darren, and it's a relatively new business, it'd be crucial, I suppose, at this point. But yes, it's a toolkit that he will be able to use going forward.
Sligo Civil Defence and Mayo Civil Defence have been involved with Darren from the start. Darren started off out in our initial contact was out in Croagh Patrick. The Civil Defence are involved in the local community on a first aid basis, on a water basis. My personal background is I would be a swift water rescue instructor. I would have a huge knowledge in the rescue equipment and the local water. So from there, when Darren approached us about what he was doing, we wanted to get involved, promote it in any way we can. It's every community, especially water-based areas. Most communities would have a defibrillator anyway, whereas this equipment has everything you need. It has a defibrillator, it has a life jacket, hugely important. It has throw bags, it has trauma kits, it has hypothermia kits. So it's an all-in-one unit for anybody in the local area. Once you contact the emergency services, they'll give you details to where that box is and how to work with anything that's in that box. So, as you may know, here in the area we are, there's quite a few life buoys which are directed to a casualty in the water. So if you have a life buoy, you're reliant on the casualty being able to make their way to that life ring. But if the casualty is not able to make their way to that life ring, there's a life jacket in that unit. So it allows you to go from throwing a life ring to being able to put on a life jacket. So now you can enter the water. Once you get that far and you get your casualty out of the water, you have a hypothermia kit, you have trauma kits, you have all the equipment you're going to need. I think every community should have a piece of this equipment, should have this box distributed just as commonly as the defibrillators and the AEDs are. I applaud Darren for starting out this initiative.
This particular buoyancy aid, we will be supplying every kit with this buoyancy aid, and the reason for us supplying this kit is that when people go into the water and get into difficulties, other people go in to save them, and normally it can have catastrophic results, with the result that they pull the other person down. Now, in the cabinet there will be one of these, and the person puts on one of these before they enter into the water to save the other person's life. So it's very, very important. We're involved, we sell all the fire extinguishers. These are a new product. It's very, very small, and it doesn't have to be maintained. It lasts for 10 years.
How does it work?
It's a spray powder that comes out of it, and even though it's very, very tiny, it does the same job as much of the larger ones. Yeah, that's right.
And it's only new on the market.
It's only new on the market. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So we're selling that, and there's also a ball that can be used, and it can be placed in the bottom of boats and all that kind of thing.
When you get someone out of the water, what to do? So hypothermia is one of the major killers if you get someone out of the water. So while you're waiting for the Air Corps or the Coast Guard or the ambulance service to come, there's an awful lot we can do. And we're lucky enough now in Sligo, we have the unit here, we have a hypothermic kit in this. So when you take someone out of the water, it's very hard to get the clothes off them. So we have a small scissors now, a safe scissors that actually cut the clothes off the person. Then we have a large towel within in the cabinet. We have a small little package then that goes onto the abdomen. It activates, then it brings the core temperature to 38 degrees. And the very important thing with this, it keeps the temperature at 38 degrees for 8 hours. Then we have a foil blanket that goes over that, and that'll further keep the temperature secure for a longer time. Then we have a little bandage if they're cut. We have the goggles, we have the earpieces for the Air Corps when they come, and the flashing light goes onto your head. It frees up both hands. So now we have this medical device, medical equipment right at the edge of the banks for waters, rivers, waterways, anything to do with water. It's here for everyone to use.
This is a beautiful location. We're here in Sligo.
Absolutely, we're very fortunate where we're located here in Dorley Park. We're only 3 to 4 minutes walk from town. There's walks nearby along the river, and then there's further walks around all of Dorley Park up to the regional sports centre. The river itself leads 2,000 metres just up to the Garavogue River and the Dartry Mountains. So very scenic and very fortunate where we're located here.
And it's used by a lot of people here, isn't it, the community?
Absolutely, yeah. There's ourselves, Sligo Rowing Club, we've our 100 members here. The Kayak Club are our neighbours, they have 70 members. But not only ourselves and the Kayak Club use it, the fishermen slip from here, the guys in the jet skis slip from here, the swimmers often come here to swim also, and you'll often see family members on the walks with their young families feeding the wildlife. So it's a lot of footfall through the area for sure. In the winter months, Saturdays and Sundays, we're out we're in the gym then over the week. But in the summer months then, when the evenings get longer, we're out in the water practically every evening. And then obviously, like all rowing clubs, we're travelling to events at the weekends in the summer months to race at regattas. So yeah, busy times. There's a heavy footfall in the area, and some facilities such as that can only give comfort to the people using the area, and it's great to have it nearby, and we're happy to be associated with Sligo Rowing Club. So it's a great benefit for sure.
Here at the water edge, we have a life jacket, we have a hypothermic kit, we have a small little device for breaking windows in cars if a car goes into the water here beside us. On top of Kirkpatrick, then totally different, we don't need any of that stuff, but we have trauma kits for major bleeds, for hemorrhages, hemostatic bandage that'll stop any arterial bleed if you fall up there, and of course the defibrillator. This is only in the last year and a half this has taken off in isolated areas, and it has already saved 3 lives in rural areas because this type of stuff wouldn't have been there. There's another one then for roadways, which is coming out shortly in Infield, and in that we have a different kit, fire extinguishers, a fireball to put out a fire in the bus. So to answer your question, Henry, it's the devices that's different in each specific area. We can cater for any device in any area.
We are here at the Applegreen service station on the M4 westbound, where Minister for Transport with special responsibility for road safety, Sean Kenny, officially launched the Eco-Power cabinet with roadside life-saving equipment.
Yeah, I did meet Darren down in the car park down at the bottom of Kirkpatrick on my first climb up in Kirkpatrick 2 years ago, and I was talked into it by one of our sons, Kenneth. And I put my hand in my pocket and I had a €50 and I gave it to him and I said, that'll start off your campaign to put one up on top of Kirkpatrick. 12 months later I went up and I took a picture beside the one that was up there, which was great. So first of all I want to acknowledge Darren and the work he's doing and the vision he has. It's just something, bringing technology, bringing solar and using it for the best of our ability to save lives. And as Minister for Transport with special area of responsibility for road safety and all of that, we know how important it is that we try and save as many lives as we can, because every life lost is a life too many on our roads. But then you have the emergencies, and when you see the likes of Applegreen here coming on board, you understand. I think you're saying to me, you find out how many babies were born here in the forecourts at Applegreen. The suite of devices that are here for medical profession is unbelievable, and I think everything is being thought of. And I was really taken with this one, it's a fire extinguisher. You know how small it is, but yet how powerful it is. So I think it's important that we understand that. I want to commend everybody involved, and just as a matter of courtesy to say to the community first responders, you're absolutely brilliant. You don't get enough of recognition. You do so much behind the scenes, and you're there to help people and to save people's lives. So I want to thank you from the government's behalf for all the work you do, and also to the National Ambulance Service, whom we have right across the country, again to say well done and thank you for all the work you do. And again, even though I'm from Galway and he's from Mayo, we get on all right. We actually allowed his daughters to come up to Chum to learn how to swim. Now they're qualified, and that's great as well. No, and I just want to say, on behalf of Geraldine and myself, I'm delighted to be asked to come here just to I suppose, do the official piece on this. But it's also very important to say that this is so vital to saving lives. It's not something ever to be underestimated. So I want to thank you for being here today, and thank you all very much.
The Eco-Power cabinets have received a number of prestigious awards and accolades in collaboration with their business partners. Mayor Torres has linked up with Darren Forde's eco-powered cabinets to launch a pilot project for drone deliveries of medicine to Clare Island.
Welcome to Carmore Beach. Today we are showcasing how drone technology is. We're using this to solve real world problems, and we're using it to connect the remote islands of Ireland. And you know, for the demonstration like this, it's not just flying a drone from A to B. You know, it's about improving access, it's about saving lives, and it's about changing the way we look at logistics, not just here in Ireland but globally. Yeah, so involved in this project today, we've had ourselves Air Tours. We've had Mr. John Staunton of Staunton's Pharmacy in Louisburg. We've had eco-power cabinets. We've had the University of Galway, Dr. Ian McCabe and his research team and the Hive project. Also, we have had the Avtrim team, Julie Garland and Sarunas and their team. Today we demonstrated the delivery of a COPD package as well as a trauma kit for resupply to the eco-power cabinets, who Darren has been here today. And we also carried vials back from Dr. Noreen Curtis on the island, and so just to prove that this can be done in under 7 minutes, one direction, and there can be a quick payload change, and then we can carry the vials or the other payload back.
We all remember the first eco-powered cabinet, which was installed on Patrick and gave reassurance to the thousands of pilgrims that climb the holy path each year. Unfortunately, an act of stupidity took place in which an EPC was vandalised, which meant that Darren Forde and his team had to retrieve the damaged unit, repair it, have it accessible and operational again for pilgrims and visitors. The eco-powered cabinets are a vital piece of medical life-saving equipment and can be installed on roadways, park walks, islands and waterways, and in particular the many rural and coastal areas across the country.
This cabinet is made locally in Mayo. It's made from 316 grade steel. It's totally eco, it's a lifetime job. The likes of this cabinet can be used in areas like here in the Bowers of Ballinrobe to bring life-saving material and devices to rural areas where normally you wouldn't have them. And that's all because of the sun, the solar units, that's 20 metres behind us, and we're bringing the power in here to power up this box, which is totally in the shade. So we have specific coordinates, easting, northing, that'll bring you to within 25 mil of this box. This is registered with the National Ambulance Service. Inside in the cabinet then, we have our life-saving devices. We have our defibrillators, 24/7, 365 days a year, fully access. Each specific box has specific items inside it. So for a roadway, we'd have a fire extinguisher, we'd have a unit to break glass, you'd have trauma kits. For the likes of this area close to water, you'd have other certain devices, such as a life jacket. It can hold 120 kgs, which is the equivalent of 2 grown men. So not alone will it prevent yourself from drowning, also to prevent the person you're trying to save from drowning. So in this kit here, guys, you have your torch for the air core, you have a small little flare that helps as well, you have a towel to dry the body, you have a little heat pack here that brings the core body up to 38 degrees, 39 degrees, that lasts for 8 hours. You have a blanket here to keep them warm. This will reverse hypothermia and keep someone safe until the emergency service arrive. at the moment, as an EMT or pre-hospital, we have to use the CPGs, which are very complicated, especially at 3 o'clock in the morning. We also have these devices here for clamping and cutting. But with the 3C now, it's just above us here, this eliminates all this and all this. Even by scanning the QR code, it'll bring you into your CPGs, whether you're a doctor, a nurse, a pre-hospital, or indeed a home birth. So the 3C is actually globally patent pending for several medical processes, both internal and external from the body. Vets can use it for their procedures, again, inside or outside the animal. It's called clamps. It comes up, this one clamps, comes up, this one clamps. And then you cut it here, which says it's cut in between that, and there you are. This comes off, and this comes off. As simple as that.